welcome to Krambamblepodcast, a podcast about nothing in particular. My name's Taz.
Oh, I thought it was about stuff in particular.
Is it?
Well, I mean, every other episode we've done lately, you feel like it's a paranormal ghost potato podcast. Not ghost potatoes, as in those two are separate entities. There's ghosts
potatoes.
And potatoes.
We've moved from cakes to ghost potatoes. Oh my god!
I'm not doing ghost potatoes.
You slowed my momentum.
They've
like
got
sticky
eyes,
gum.
but
I was going to try to do this. Damn it! I had the momentum, and you just slowed me down with your spike traps of words.
Told you.
I figured if I did it twice as fast, I could slow the audio down and then do 15 minutes of recording and just turn it into 30 because I'm so tired.
So if we just talk really, 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 really fast.
Yes, I stumble too much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so tired. Happy Easter.
Why are you so tired?
Because my sleeping schedule is all messed up because I'm playing games about the desert and all I can see when I close my eyes are palm trees.
Welcome to me in 2003 or 4 when I used to play The Sims.
Oh, The Sims. Oh, you were hooked into The Sims.
And then you do, if you start dreaming about it. And yeah, that's not even that engaging, but it was super addictive. Like, I would just play for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
I always liked the conspiracy theory that particular games, especially first-person shooters, plane control, that kind of stuff, was a recruitment tool for the military to get people to use drones, control drones. So there was always that theory, like the whole anti-computer game thing. One of the theories was that they were training the younger generation to use drones to kill people. And so that was the conspiracy theory. I'm like, that's legit.
Do you remember that movie called Toys with Robin Williams?
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah, that had that in it.
Yep.
They had all the kids playing video games. And they were actually like soldiers.
They were doing that. I loved it.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
That was such a good. Charlie needs to watch that. Yeah. That's a great film.
Underrated movies of the 90s. I guess it was 90s.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking as you were talking that The Sims would be an excellent tool to find out who's a psychopath.
Yes, there you go. That adds into the theory.
Because, I mean, everybody knows that, the kids that used to torture animals usually end up being psychopaths.
They take the ladder out of the pool. That's the thing that you do to kill Sims, right?
Oh, God, there's so many different ways. Like, I was shown on the internet, because I didn't even think of killing my Sims. I'm one of those milquetoast people that are probably never going to be... I was the same.
I was just like, I want to get you a cool job. I'm like, okay, you're irritating me. Glenda, bye.
Yeah. I mean, you could also accidentally kill them. That kind of happened to me sometimes. If you didn't repair the stove, it could catch on fire, and then they could catch on fire.
That's kind of like you should look after the electricity in your house.
If they lived alone, there was no one to put them out.
Oh, jeez.
So if you had two people, the other person could grab the fire extinguisher and put them out.
Does the latest update of Sims just have people sitting on the couch getting fat, eating nothing but cookies and watching Netflix and then dying from depression?
No, who would want to play that? It's meant to be escapism. You're meant to be like, I'm sitting here eating cookies and stuffing my face and playing, but my guy's super buff because he works out.
Gotcha.
And is a doctor. He's a buff doctor.
This explains why I like action-adventure games. I'm like, oh man, this guy can run for like 30 seconds before getting puffed, whereas I'm like 2 seconds and I'm done.
That's probably why I don't like video games.
Maybe.
Because I'm fit.
And I'm fat. Anyway.
I don't like video games. I just have a very short attention span.
I lost my train of thought.
So I think people, everyone's like, oh, people that play video games are lame. I'm like, no, they have a way better attention span than I do. I'm like, this game is fun. Oh, look, it's so sunny outside. I'm going to go and catch butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't concentrate for that length of time. Maybe I have ADD. I don't know.
Animal Crossing made me want to catch butterflies, and I thought about the act of actually going outside and catching butterflies. I'm like, ugh, I'll just keep playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, thanks. I think that's the lack of... I think I don't like sitting for too long. I think I do have ADD. Like, I just cannot sit and do the same thing for hours and hours and hours. You got ants in
your pants.
I do. I've got ants pants.
Ants pants.
That was a brand, wasn't it? An Australian brand of underwear. They were ants pants. So. Oh, and the old ads had an anteater, and it was really salacious because the anteater was on the sexy lady, and there was a trail of ants, and she just went, "Get 'em, Rex." And this little ant, echidna crawled across her tummy, and they were ants pants.
What the hell?
Look it up, guys. Look it up. You got to find that ad.
That's mind-boggling, but funny.
Get 'em, Rex.
Get 'em, Rex. Oh my god.
There's a little echidna chasing the ants across her belly.
I had something to talk about, and my brain has just...
That's okay. Orbs.
Orbs. What about orbs?
They're making a massive resurgence. Yeah,
The Centaurians are back.
They've filled my newsfeed lately. Everyone's seeing the orbs.
Oh. Are they making links between the coming of Jesus and the orbs? Because it seems like the appropriate time to make a "he's coming back, guys."
That's funny, actually, you say that. I've not seen anything religious-based lately.
Because wasn't a whole bunch of stuff about the birth of Jesus pretty strongly linked to orbs guiding people to a particular destination?
That's Christmas.
Oh, was it Christmas?
Yeah, this is when he died. That's why I made that hilarious joke of,
Damn
hope
it.
your Good Friday's better than Jesus. Because he
yes.
was put on the cross.
No one wants to become a zombie.
No.
Well, actually, there's probably someone who wants to become a zombie. There's a kink out there somewhere for it, but not my jam. No thanks.
I wouldn't, are you immortal and do you rot? I think those would be my two questions.
I think we established in a much earlier episode that zombies are just the mindless automatons controlled by some sort of necromancer or voodoo doctor.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it the voodoo or the hoodoo? I can't remember. Either way. No, zombie in the sense like the old school one where you're like, this is not a good thing. Because rage virus was separate to us.
Hoodoo, voodoo, you do.
Hoodoo, voodoo, you do. The Babe, the who?
Remind me of the Babe.
Remind me of the Babe.
Oh, I love the labyrinth.
It's the time of year that we celebrate zombie Jesus, and he gives us bunny rabbits and colored eggs, and we go out and find them all, and we celebrate them.
That was a set that Eddie Izzard used to do.
Ooh.
He went, yes, and the reason we celebrate Easter with chocolate eggs is the colour of the chocolate and the colour of the cross. And then he just looked at his audience and he's like, well, you tell me what the connection is.
Yeah. It's a popular thing for comedians because there's too much bastardization of religions. Because I think there's a lot of Ishtar in there as well, which was the Babylonian goddess of fertility and
well, that's where all the bunnies and spring come from.
Years.
And it really doesn't matter to us because it's not spring at Easter time for people who live in the southern hemisphere.
Yes.
It is now the coming of winter.
Winter is coming.
Winter has come.
And I'm enjoying it, except for the sniffling nose, and I do apologise to our listeners for that. You may hear that on occasion.
I'm sorry for my breathing. Apparently I'm a mouth breather.
You just had the microphone far too close to your mouth last time.
I'm just so conscious of you, you got to get right up close to that microphone.
You got to have that magic distance between your head and the microphone. It's about 30 centimetres, apparently. I don't know.
30 centimetres? That's a ruler. That seems very far away.
It is.
Let me go.
I'm half of a ruler away.
I feel like this is 30 centimetres, and I'm sure our listeners can see the massive, hear the difference.
Yes, they can see the massive difference.
With
their ear eyes.
Yep. There we go.
Charming.
Sorry, I had to move my chair, and it's on carpet, so you have to do that.
It is rather plush carpet too.
Yes. It is like wading through mud.
Wait,
what?
It's like the carpet that we've got, and it's a hard way to describe it. It is, imagine the best quality shit carpet or the worst quality good carpet.
Yep.
It's that fine line where it's plush enough that you're like, oh yeah, it's not the carpet that's almost the point where it's a woven mat. You imagine some old Indian woman weaving a mat on a loom and it's made from straw and it's just really coarse and you go, this is my carpet. That was what the old carpet was like, that really horrible polyester.
What a fantastic topic.
Yeah.
I mean, lock
boring
in, guys.
The shit out of our listeners.
It's okay. If I had to describe it in a nutshell, when they open a brand new library?
Yes.
And it's that.
Except it's not different colours. I would like the different colour carpet. That'd be cool. They always have cool carpet designs.
I thought we were going texture. It's nice enough, but it could get a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah, that there was some budgetary cut there. Yeah. We can get more computers or better carpet.
Yeah. So that's our carpet, guys. Yeah, strap in. We've got more high.
Right, tell me about the orbs.
Oh, no, I don't care about the orbs. I'm just saying that they made a resurgence.
I thought you had a theory about them.
No, but what I was thinking is I found a solution for our ghost hunting friends.
Yes.
Because I've been so worried about them, Taz.
Okay.
I mean, how are they going to make their shows and hunt their, look for these orbs?
I don't know.
We've got this lockdown, this quarantine.
Okay, how are you going to help the poor ghost hunters?
All they have to do is get some nice workout gear on.
Yes.
And a backpack.
Okay.
And a GoPro.
Gotcha.
And then they can just pretend they're going for a run.
Oh.
And they can go and look at all these haunted places, maybe run through a cemetery.
Now, here's the problem.
Yep.
In all of these TV shows, I say all in a very general sense, I haven't watched all of them. Hell, I haven't even watched any of them. From what I've seen in the little snippets and clippets, it's more than two people. It's always a group of people getting freaked out.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was thinking you'd have to enlist your family. because you're allowed to go and exercise if you all live in the same house.
My first thought was that's so dumb, and then I thought of every single reality TV program about a family from Florida that does something. I thought, you've just come on to
this is going to be
best business
hilarious. Idea. Like, you get your old grandma in on it.
I want real Dog the Bounty Hunter style, though. I want ghost hunters that are like real, like, I was going to say redneck, but, real salt of the earth.
Why is it always American?
American?
I was thinking...
Because the English people are boring.
No, have you not? I've just had them add a whole bunch of stuff on my Instagram. Indian ghost hunters.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking how awesome it would be to see like an Indian family with like the old Indian mum, because they all live in that kind of cultural thing. So you got the old Indian mum and
what's
then the
go
dad.
with ghosts in Hindi culture?
I have no idea. I know nothing about Hindi culture.
Because I know there are some cultures that just don't acknowledge ghosts at all, which is what the old Irish was before Christianity and Catholicism came in. They didn't have ghosts. They didn't exist. It was just the wee folk, the fae. Ghosts weren't a thing, and it was the introduction of Catholicism that brought in...
Is it Catholicism?
Ghosts. I don't know.
Well, it is.
It's one of those long-lived races.
Throwback ghost cakes. All right.
Oh, ghost cakes.
I still think it's a great idea. Everyone write in and tell me it's a brilliant idea and Taz is an idiot for not embracing the ghost cakes.
Oh, yeah, no, ghost cakes are dumb. I thought you were talking about the Indian ghost hunting family. I'd be interested in that.
That'd be great. That's great reality TV.
I still think it's better comedy with Americans because they always find the Americans that are really dumb. So I think having a ghost hunting family that was just super dysfunctional and dumb would be funny as hell. Can you imagine one of the epic fights they have where they're screaming and throwing stuff around happening in the middle of a haunting?
You like that stuff. I don't find that entertaining at all. I don't want to watch stupid people.
You would watch a dysfunctional redneck ghost hunting family in a house in the middle of a haunting and poltergeist while they're throwing stuff around and they've got evidence of the whole ghost thing going on, but they're having an argument about something a week ago and the cameraman's kind of doing the whole office thing where it's pointing between the poltergeist and the family. You would love that kind of stuff. Admit it.
No, I don't think I would.
You are such a party pooper.
Sorry.
You just don't like good quality TV.
I just don't like redneck TV. I sat through the Tiger King and I've got to say, not impressed. Don't see what the hype is about.
Oh, man. You just don't like good stuff, I guess.
Maybe
explains
not.
the ghost cakes.
Whoa. Ghost cakes, yeah.
Ghost cakes. Boo.
Yeah, you could be our soundbite. Ghost cakes, boo.
Ghost cakes, boo. No.
Yeah. You had to change it to no because boo works with my theme.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
There you
now.
go. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. That's terrible. As you can tell,
heathens. The
isolation is starting to get to us all.
Oh, I'm all right.
A little bit crazy.
I'm fine. This is definitely plays beautifully into my lifestyle. More time alone. Yes, please.
You don't stay in the house all day, though. You're gone every 15 minutes.
Oh, man. I get cabin fever. I don't want to sit in this house. It smells like farts and dogs in here.
Whoa, okay. Well, that's probably because the dogs are farting. Are you just hunting ghosts without me? Is that why you keep leaving the house?
I can't tell you that. That's my secret mission.
Damn it.
I live with 4 boys.
Okay.
That's, yeah. Any woman out there would be like, yeah, I'd leave the house too.
Whoa, that's mean. Sabaka has a look of betrayal on his face right now. No, he doesn't. He just heard his name now. I'm giving him sausages, which I'm not.
Oh, he's pricked up for the word sausages.
He does love the sausages. He's a true Aussie dog. He likes snag on bread with some tomato sauce and some onions. Onions on top.
Yes, onions with the G.
Onions? Making fun of me again. This lady,
onions,
the creator of ghost cakes, makes fun of me so frequently it hurts my feelings.
I should actually do that.
I
can't be bothered icing. That's the problem. And you'd really need to get those sigils well on the cakes. Otherwise, you're not going to lock in those ghosts. Imagine getting a dud ghost cake. Oh,
every ghost cake is a dud ghost cake. Kirsten. They're all duds.
Oh, I'd be so upset.
There's a reason the bank.
I was promised.
There's a reason the bank didn't give you a business loan for ghost cakes. It's a terrible idea.
The banks won't give me a business loan because I went in with a balaclava.
Okay. So there's a game that I'm playing at the moment, and
They didn't get the joke.
The moment I tell you this, you'll be like, that's dumb, because it's the first thing I thought, and it requires a great deal of suspension of disbelief. So in this game called Last Oasis, it's essentially a desert planet.
Is this just an excuse for you to talk about your dumb game?
Just wait.
I'm waiting.
Wait. Okay. The planet has stopped rotating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's deserts everywhere.
We don't fly off. Everyone knows that.
Exactly. This is the whole premise.
What?
The first 30 seconds of the game, in the cataclysm, when the moon exploded and the world stopped rotating, and I'm like, why are we all still on the planet?
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, no, that's a joke. We'd still be on the planet.
Oh.
Yeah, go on.
What would happen if the world stopped rotating?
It's not... we're not stuck on by centrifugal force.
I thought everything was being held together by centrifugal force.
No.
Oh, awkward turtle. All right. Break it down for me, science lady.
So wait. You thought that the only reason we get to walk around on the planet is if it stopped turning, we'd all, float off into space?
I thought that, like, the gases would stop being held onto the planet and that kind of stuff. I thought the whole spinning was part of keeping everything there.
I mean,
just mass.
It could be.
I mean, I'm not a physicist.
No, me neither. But yeah, no, I do remember actually discussing this and being like, we're laughing hysterically.
Okay. I've been making fun of a game in my head that's probably unjustified. Oops.
Maybe they've got very heavy shoes on.
Well, it wasn't so much that we would go flying off. I just thought like
gravity would still exist.
Okay, so gravity would still exist. Cool.
I think.
Now
you've got me questioning my belief.
For some reason, my brain thinks that the whole ozone layer and gas around the planet would dissipate.
No.
Okay. So what would happen if
the
world stopped spinning? What would happen if the world stopped spinning?
Oh, that's a very good question for a scientist. I have a major in literature. I don't know.
And is the planet spinning because it is rotating around the sun? Is that part of why it spins?
I would say so, yeah. And we've got poles as well. There's all sorts of magnetic forces.
Oh, man, now I'm going to go research this stuff because I was
we've got quite a lot of poles, actually. I remember seeing that on an episode of QI.
I do like the Polish.
There's the North Pole, the South Pole, which are like, I think they're honorary poles. So they've actually got an actual pole there. But yeah, there's like shifting poles. But there's a magnetic pole. But I think there's like 2 or 3 magnetic poles.
What the hell?
And yeah, it's... If you look into it, there's more than one.
Well, I'm gonna.
It's quite a few poles.
Show a little bit more respect to this game now when I play it next, because I was like, this is dumb. We'd all just fall off the planet. I know nothing about science, clearly.
I like it that's the point. That was your suspension of disbelief. It's like, oh, we would have flown off the planet. But you're walking around.
Let's make fun of these French idiots.
And like your mode of transport is an artist's interpretation of sustainable energy.
There's a name for those machines, right? Like the name of the artist is like, hey, like you've got the Rubin style puzzles.
Do you want me to look it up?
If you can, please. Yeah.
All right. You'll have to talk while I do this because I hate dead air.
I like it. But the other thing in the game as well, which is not a new concept, is the other main race of people besides humans that you're fighting called the Rapu. And they're essentially like the apes from Planet of the Apes before they become real smart. So they're using they've advanced to tools. What would that be? No, not Denisovans, something further back, but one of our predecessors that was using tools and had like a very shamanistic kind of lifestyle. They're the things that you're fighting and killing as well, and they're called the Rapu. And I'm like, I like that in this futuristic world where almost every other animal has died out, there's still like chimpanzee people who are like, we're gonna kill all these humans and make our own little farms. And they got all this stuff. But that's more for gamers.
Yeah, true. Theo Janssen.
Theo Janssen.
It was the guy who makes the kinetic sculptures.
Okay, kinetic sculptures sounds better than his name. Sorry, Theo Janssen. Kinetic sculpures.
It's a fusion of art and engineering.
Honestly, like
they are so worth looking at.
I thought
there
are
way more than we thought.
They looked so dumb when I saw them as just the art pieces, but now playing this game, which I don't know how accurate it is, it's actually really cool. You're like, oh my god, this is brilliant. I was actually playing and streaming and someone's like, why do they have giant legs and not wheels? I'm like, because it's easier to move over shifting sand with legs than wheels. Like, it makes sense. Instead of being like your traditional kind of like big spider with your spread out legs, it's these small little legs that essentially create like tank tracks.
I wonder if they paid him any sort of royalties, because they have definitely flogged his design.
Oh, there's no mention of his name at all.
What?
They're just called walkers.
It's 100, like even the sails and everything that they're using.
Yeah, look, at no point in the game that I've experienced so far have they mentioned him. Yeah, and it works exactly like that. Like the sails, you add the sails, and because you're getting a little bit of movement by you pedaling, the sails are then catching wind, which is then helping the gears move faster. So you gain speed when you add those sails to your vehicle. It's super cool. I love that. Yeah, well, I love the game for the fact that I love the game, but I like the concepts that are like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Poor Theo. They should really give him some...
Is Theo like an individual that is still alive, or is this a while ago that they...
No, he's still kicking around. I mean, he's not a young man.
Okay, so this was like a couple of decades ago he was designing this stuff and then he's perfected it over time, I guess? It's very cool. So how do you
He began in 1990.
Oh, yeah, that's 30 years ago, baby. That's 3
Whoa,
decades.
we are so old.
I like the moment, and I do it too, so it's not like a, haha, you're
72.
an idiot. I like the moment when you're like, it was only in 1990. We all do it. You can tell what generation we're from. Like, 1990, idiot. And you're like, it's 30 years later. And you're like, oh my God, it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
I do it too. Someone's like, oh, this thing. And I'm like, that wasn't that long ago. And they're like, that was 30 years ago, bro. I'm like, oh my God, it was.
My favorite is the fact that there are people born in like 1996. And I'm like, wait, you're not a baby?
Yes. I still expect them to be like a little annoying teenager, but no.
Yeah.
They are in their 20s. And you're like, What's it like? And they're like, you're so old, like, one day it'll be you.
I still think it's crazy that there are kids. Thank goodness my son watches The Simpsons, so he understands dial-up and, it's such a good reference to 90s things. But there are kids who are born in like 1996, so they're in their mid-20s now, who would never have experienced the stuff we would, like, to them, the internet has always been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas we had to, games of, VR to them is nothing. Whereas we were just the generation who had
we were lucky
Pong and stuff.
For that kind of like that digital
massive acceleration.
Digital acceleration.
I think we're the generation that appreciates it more than anybody else for the fact that we got to see it from like DOS mode right through to Oculus Rift.
It was the new world that we got to watch get discovered.
Yeah.
You see that little meme about too old to see the world discovered. Oh no, too young to see the world discovered, too old to see the stars. And like we got to watch technology boom.
Yeah.
Like technology that you would think would normally take decades.
Like our parents had those massive brick phones.
My dad had one of those.
Yeah.
You could kill a man with that phone.
My dad had an in-car phone because he was fully fancy and deluxe.
That's cool.
But it was, the size of a book.
It was almost like a briefcase that you had to like carry around.
Pretty
as well.
much, yeah. So he had an in-car phone. And now... our iPhones, we're making them bigger because we just don't know how to make them like smaller. Is not fun anymore.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the size that phones are going to, they haven't finally started putting like decent pockets in women's clothes. You would think that
Good point.
You would think that
Good point.
Like if there's anything in this world that's going to push pockets into women's clothes, it might be your 10-inch phone.
We were discussing this the other day, Taz and I, was the fact that I was saying that I buy clothes for comfort and he buys them for style. And Taz was like, that's ridiculous. My clothes are comfortable. And I realized that that's not something a boy ever has to worry about.
True.
It's a default. If designers don't make men's clothes comfortable, they won't buy them.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a default setting. Like they have to be comfortable and then stylish.
100%.
Whereas it's the opposite way for women.
Yep.
We go out of our way looking for comfortable clothes because style always comes before
comfort. And then when women wear comfortable clothes in public, they're called like slovenly or lazy or they don't try or they're a tomboy or whatever the situation is.
Well, we've discovered that I dress semi-masculine because I like to be comfortable.
Because you like pockets?
I like to actually put things in my pocket.
Look at my pockets,
I don't want to carry around a handbag. Ugh.
The envy of every woman in the office. Look at that bitch. She's got pockets. How dare she?
I don't think it's jealousy. It's like, she doesn't even have a handbag. Who doesn't have a handbag?
Different group then. Yeah. Different style.
Oh no, the people in my office are old, so they don't give. They're out of the rat race.
They still haven't figured out phones.
No, they're married and have kids, so they're not in that. Like if I had young women I've got 2 young women in the office who are still, wear heels and things.
Yeah.
And mini skirts. I'm like, why? Oh, hang on. You need to rope yourself in a husband.
Yeah, they've kind of locked themselves into that semi-corporate world as well, where that's like the norm.
With their eyelash extensions and their...
You don't have any leopard print on you at all? Do you even want to go further in this company? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. You'll never get promoted without a handbag.
You'll never progress without a handbag. How much was your handbag? Oh, $30? Okay. Enjoy being in that position forever.
Yeah. We'll see you at the board meeting. Wait, no, we won't.
This really was an episode about nothing in particular. I think that's why I liked saying nothing in particular. So it was kind of like a caveat of like, we may talk about some supernatural stuff, but it's harder to talk about supernatural stuff when your house is not haunted. And I'm still very upset that we don't have a haunted house.
Not only that, but the stuff I'm reading at the moment, like I think psychologically we've all gone... There are bigger things to worry about than cryptids and ghosts,
Yep.
We've suddenly just gone, have we got enough food.
Yeah.
There's way more important. We can go super conspiracy. I would like to let our listeners know that I have a bug out bag. I'm very proud of it. Apparently
Ooh.
Taz has one too, but he won't tell me where it is because apparently I'll pinch stuff out of it.
She will.
You know what? Fair play. How many hair ties do you own? Who knows? I've stolen half of them.
Yeah, she has.
Yep.
She has. She's the worst.
I am.
She's a hair tie thief. I think she's going to make a slingshot out of it so she can kill birds when the apocalypse happens and she needs stew.
I don't know how nice a bird stew would be. Apparently
Pigeons.
galah is meant to be disgusting.
They eat nothing. Well, I mean, most of the Australian birds eat nothing but pine cones and nuts.
You think that'd be delicious? Because if that was a pig, that'd be tasty. They've got those
No.
special pigs that only eat acorns.
Too much oil. Too
That'd-
much oil in those things. It's the same as koala.
That'd be so
They
funny
eat eucalyptus.
if koalas was like extra flammable because they ate eucalyptus. Like you try and roast them and it's just like...
Apparently koalas don't have a fat layer.
Oh.
I learned this
How do
because-
they stay warm? Fur?
I don't know.
I guess they're not really any koalas in the cold areas.
I knew a lady that was part of the... What's the term? She was essentially an ambulance for koalas.
She was physically the ambulance?
No.
She's running around with a little light on her head?
She was...
With a koala under each arm.
Paramedic, that's the word I couldn't find. She was a koala It's a thing. So people...
I'm well aware.
It's in Brisbane too.
Yeah.
So people would call up going, my dog's got into a koala, and apparently that's just bad for them because they have no fat layer. So the dog's teeth just go straight through and do like vital organ damage.
Wow.
It's a thing.
Because, there are no cold weather koalas.
No.
There's no Tasmanian koalas.
And they do have a decent amount of fur. Maybe marsupials have like a different heating system. I don't know a great deal about them compared to...
I don't think being warm would be a thing for a koala because they tend to be in very warm climates.
But I mean,
if they've got a nice insulated fur.
I'm not a biologist, so I couldn't say, but they're pretty prolific in
Well,
New South
biologist.
Wales and... They're pretty... they were
reference.
prolific in New South Wales and Victoria for like the past how many hundred years, and it still got cold in those places before we really hit global warming.
Migrated like birds.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about them to say yay or nay.
They used to ride the dingoes up north.
Oh
Don't you know anything?
That's the best new Australian cartoon ever. Like the war between koalas and what's another animal that...
The koalas domesticated the dingoes so that they could ride them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what other animal Australian that they would fight?
Oh, what is that
Do we
really
have anything else
grumpy
to
one? The
crime?
wombats. No, wombats aren't as grumpy as the... Oh, what are they called? Tasmanian devils. Apparently they are like the most vicious little...
I like it.
Bad guys.
So the koalas are like the civilized race that ride dingoes, but the Tasmanian tigers are just like crazy little
Oh, they're
ravenous
dead. The
zerglings.
Tasmanian devils.
Oh, sorry,
are alive.
Tasmanian devils.
Yeah.
My apologies. But they could have had an alliance with the thylacines once upon a time.
How cool is that as a name for an animal that's stuck?
The devil.
Like, they were like, what do we call it? I don't know. Where's it from? Tasmania?
Yeah.
And it's a bastard. Let's call it the Tasmanian bastard. Oh, that's a bit rough. Can we tone that down? Devil? Yeah, let's go with that.
Well,
and it's stuck. Like, that's its name.
Well, it's because of the sound they made at nighttime, which I think is hilarious considering barn owls aren't called devil owls because they sound worse.
No, that's what I'm saying. They have the coolest
Yeah.
name. Like, I don't know. Bitey McKills-a-lot would be a great name for a shark.
If we started populating new worlds and they tried to vote on new species of names, yeah, it'd be like Toothy McEelfish or something like that.
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
like
yeah.
dumb stuff.
But I love that it just stuck. People like, should we come up with a new name for this? Like something
Tasmanian
a little
Devil.
bit more, I don't know, realistic?
This-
Nope. It's the Tasmanian Devil.
This might be something worth looking into. If it was named when it was still called Van Diemen's Land, so was it called the Van Diemen's Devil? That sounds way cooler. That sounds
It
like a cryptid.
really
The Van
does.
Diemen's Devil.
That does sound like a
I
cryptid.
have to find out if that's
It
a thing.
already sounds like a cryptid. Did you know before I moved to Australia, my only reference to a Tasmanian devil was Taz, the Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
Ironically, your name.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they were real. I thought it was made up. But I also didn't think the Roadrunner was real either.
Yes.
I knew coyotes were real.
Yeah.
Like Wile E. Coyote.
What's the bird's name of the actual Roadrunners? They're like a weird pheasant, right? Like a sprinting pheasant?
Yeah.
I'm again, not a biologist. Sorry, guys.
Well, biologist.
Well,
That is such a niche reference. You have to have really enjoyed Futurama to get that.
yeah, I obviously don't know it. So I just kind of like get confused every time you say it.
I'm just going to give you a quick rundown.
Okay.
So, I think someone fell into a whale pool in the show and they got swallowed, and I think it was Kif.
Oh, yes, I remember the episode now.
Yeah, and he got covered in ambergris.
Yes.
Not important, but...
whale bile for you guys playing at home.
And I think Leela needs the whale to throw up.
Yep, because she dropped the watch that Fry gave her.
That's right.
Yep.
So anyway, she stuffs her swimsuit full of rotting fish so that it'll try and eat her and it'll be sick.
Yep.
And the guy comes up and he's like, your swimsuit is ugly and lumpy. And she's like, what? And he's like, whale biologist, and just walks off. Like, as if it gives him license to say anything. So anytime anyone's like...
Whale biologist.
Yep, sorry, whale biologist.
This is the woman that I live with, people. Whale biologists. Oh, my goodness.
I do love Futurama. I'm going to watch all of that, actually. That's my quarantine goal. Everyone else is like, I'm going to get fit and learn stuff for language. And I'm like, I'm going to watch
quick social shout out before the end of the episode, because we're 31 minutes. Be sure to send any questions, queries, or shower thoughts that you have of a supernatural nature to krambamblepodcast@gmail.com.
You know what? At this stage...
Just interrupting me constantly while I'm trying to do my social media stuff.
Oh, look, I'll help out. I'm just saying. It doesn't even have to be supernatural at this stage. Like, hey, any shower thoughts, whatever you want to ask, chuck it in an email at
krambamblepodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter, Krambamble, and we also have Kirsten on Instagram. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah, I think we'll make another one soon. Bye!
Well, biologist.